So you guys originally did the show on campus. Did the reaction at the University of Michigan give you any indication of the popularity the show would reach globally once you put it online?
No, no, we never anticipated that other people would watch it. It's like people came to see it at U of M because we asked people not to write anything about it in the school newspaper because the university was getting mad at us for doing a Harry Potter show without permission. So they had us change the title to HP Musical. Said don't advertise it. So we didn't put up any posters or anything like that. But then somebody from the school newspaper wrote an article about it, and then just a bunch of people came to see it at U of M.
I think word spread pretty quickly that weekend because it was just one weekend, and and all the shows ended up being packed like after the first one. I think we added the show too, so people, but that would happen sometimes. Earlier in that year, Meredith Stepien and another friend of ours, Sarah Ashley, directed a thing actually that Matt started. It was the Goofy musical, right?
Yeah, Goofy movie.
Yeah.
They staged the entire Goofy movie. Like Goofy. Yeah. And that one got a huge packed audience.
So that sort of thing would happen every now and again, but it didn't lead us to anticipate
it's like,
the success online.
Like college kids go, oh, I'm so bored all the time. I go to class and then I come home and I do nothing. I watch TV. Oh, there's a Harry Potter musical. Let's go see it. It'll probably be stupid. And then they show up and they go, oh, that was stupid, but not in a way that I thought.
But at least it had those blowjob jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I ever would have anticipated us end up having the fan base that we do, because we are, all guys in our 20s, and we wrote it to be a show for guys in their 20s, because we wrote it for ourselves. But I guess guys in their 20s have the exact same taste as girls in their teens. They're more mature.
Early 20s.
They're more mature.
Yeah. And math.
So the article that I'm writing is about what it's like to start a business in college, do something for yourself, and then watch it take off. So when you guys were at the University of Michigan, how did you balance studying for classes and getting your degree with writing and performing musicals?
Well, Nick and I had actually just graduated when we put the Harry Potter show up, and so Matt is the only one that can really speak to that. So this was all Matt.
Okay. Yeah, I just have to decide how truthful and how nice I want to be. How did I balance class and the musicals? I didn't. I just didn't go to class. I didn't go to class, and it took me an extra year and a half to finally get out of school. I had to switch to an easier major because I could not pass a language, because all the other classes I could not go to every single day of class and then come in for the final and pass. But languages, you can't do that for some reason, because they don't put how to speak a language on Wikipedia. But the other classes you're okay with. So that was my strategy. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone else, and I probably shouldn't even say it, but that's what I did.
Yeah. Me and Brian, it's like we did other shows while we were in school. Like we did a Lord of the Rings show, we did a Hobbit show. But those weren't musicals and they were bad, so don't worry about them. And we had a different experience because our major was acting. So that was like part of the curriculum was they they don't give you a lot of homework because they're saying they need to be in rehearsals and doing artistic things during the evening. So we would just go to nice, relaxed classes during the day, and then at night we would go and rehearse things. But usually when you're doing a project like this, your classwork always does suffer because you can only focus on so many things, and really these plays are so big and like so all inclusive that really if you're in charge of them, that's pretty much all you can do for a while. And like when I did the Hobbit show, my professor talked to me saying, Nick, you're not doing good in your classes. It's like my Tai Chi class suffered. I did not get the Tai Chi form very well. And but I think you just have to choose what you want to focus on. And for us, we never liked school very much, but we always liked doing shows. So we just used the university's resources that were available to us, because it's like that's another thing that you're paying for when you go to school, is you have all of these resources at your disposal. So it's like that's a huge part of school besides the classes. Like we never would have been able to do it if we weren't at the University of Michigan and didn't have that theater for free and stuff like that.
And also a ton of people who were willing to collaborate. Musicians, like when we did a play in the fall after Nick and I graduated called Me and My Dick, and they brought in some musicians from the music school who were just phenomenal, and it really, it creates a better project when you're collaborating with all sorts of experts in their field, essentially.
And it's like, we never would have met all those people. It's like we were in the acting program with Darren, with Joey Richter, all the stars of the show. It's like we never would have met them if we weren't there. It's really this whole school experience. Like you hear people say this a million times. It's like you get out what you put in, and so it's like we put in a lot of work to our time at school. We just didn't put that work towards like homework or studying or learning about theater history or learning about ancient Greece or whatever.
Right.
I did that.
Although Matt took a lot of Roman
history
study classes.
Eventually you figure out that the key to passing classes is pick right classes. You have to, the tricks of my trade were A, only taking classes very similar to a subject to a class you already took. So that's one. B, never take a class that requires any more work than a midterm and a final. If you go to class and they say there's more work, walk right out. Because you're paying for it, and you can do that. 3, always pick a class where there are over 50 people. That way your absence will not be noticed. But make sure that you know where that class is going to be held so that you go into the right room for the midterm and the final. That's what I would suggest. That's how I eventually passed college.
Do you think your editors are going to like this or hate it?
I know, I'm just thinking that the whole time I'm listening to this. It's really, I might just stick to Nick's answer of you get out what you put in. That might be what ends up in the article.
Yeah.